Houston, Texas, United States of America. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. How are you doing? Thank God it's Friday. You ready for the party? Yes, if you're partying, where are you partying tonight? I'm going to look for a place, an African place where they make spicy tilapia. That's what I'm hungry for right now. I love there's a Cameroonian lady, Marie, on a Bisonet. It's a likely spot. Another one on Bel Air. It's another spot that I may want to go. And you know what? I may be singing Bob Marley tonight because there's a band that comes out there to perform every Saturday. So perhaps joining them live, if I decide to go that route to bring you some message. Yeah, powerful message from Bob Marley. Anyway, it's a breaking news as Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, shatters, dismantles one of the longest lasting colonial legacies related to lawyers' dress code in Burkina Faso. That is a huge Pan-African move. We need to sequester ourselves from whatever is left of the colonial vestiges that have been hounding us and that have been chasing us. We need to be Africans. We need to be Africa for Africans. We need to tailor everything we do to the tradition of Africa and the African people. And that is the only way we can recover our lost spirituality and our mentality. So Ibrahim Traore, 35-year-old man, 35-old young African, really in charge, holding sway in Burkina Faso. And since he came to power, he has done so much. Yes, what African leaders have not been able to do for nearly 70 years that some of them gained, some of their countries gained independence. This guy has taken time. Within a space of 3 years, he has been demolishing every colonial legacy in Burkina Faso. Yes. Let me just quickly say, why can't we make Ibrahim Traore the president of Africa? He's a total revolutionary, no-nonsense revolutionary. Daring those who colonized our ancestors that we have come of age. We are Africa. We are the African people. That we should control our destiny. You know, since he came to power, there has been 18 French-backed attempts to kill him, to assassinate him. Yes, to topple his government because he kicked out France from the Burkina space. He told France, go to hell. He told Macron, go to hell. Yes, Africa is not for France to control. Yes, he inspired the guys in Niger. He inspired the guy in Mali. He is inspiring a lot of revolutionaries across Africa. Africa for Africans. Africa we share with the world, but the destiny of Africa must be controlled by Africans and no more by imperial forces and no more by colonial forces and no more by France, which wrecked the continent. What France did in Africa, what France did in Africa, little France, what they did in Africa, they raped their colonies, 14 of them. They made them take our people, African people, our countries held hostage by France, banked their money in the French Reserve Bank. Have you heard about that? And France, since they gave them that Greek gift of independence that never was and still not is, has been stealing 500 billion US dollars every every year from those countries. In effect, those countries are they just exist. Yes, they are mere expressions of countries. The French never left Africa. When they said they left, they made these people sign an extended slavery. They left their military armed forces on the soil of Africa, talking about defense power. Who is threatening us? Yes. Hey, Kevin, how are you? How are you? Great evening. How are you doing? Where are you calling from? Hey, hello, kids, batsman. J.K., how are you? Johnny Scott. Yeah, everything is up. We are talking about a young man, the youngest president, maybe perhaps the youngest president in the world right now, 35-year-old Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, doing a lot of things. He's combating terrorism that the French people planted in Africa. They told us when they were kicked out that Africa, that part of Africa was going to become hell. You know what? The terrorists are being defeated like never before. The French were there sponsoring the terrorists, training them, supplying them operational equipment. Yes, but they pretend that they are fighting terrorism. They are stealing mineral resources. That's what they came to do. We discovered what they were doing, and they were given a marching order to get the hell out of our space. And since then, they have done everything, 17 coup attempts to kill this young man. But he's not going to die. And I'm telling every young African who is in any African military force, you got to think like Ibrahim Traore. You got to develop relationship with him. Yes, because from the way it looks right now, Africa will not get anywhere with ballot boxes. We voted. You see, we voted in Nigeria. Our votes did not count. Yes. So any people who make peaceful change difficult makes a violent change inevitable. Yes. So from what it has looked now, maybe perhaps a patriotic dictatorship, yes, a benevolent dictatorship will perhaps be what we need to get our acts together before we come back and start talking about democracy on our own terms. Those who tell us about democracy, it works in their place. They make it impossible to work in Africa. So today, this young man, this man told one strategic, really very annoying, painful, and unacceptable colonial legacy pertaining to how lawyers in Burkina Faso dress, and and it's the same vestiges of colonial legacy pertaining to how lawyers in Africa dress to go to court. We are not Europeans. So what does this man do? This young man, he changed all that. Burkina Faso lawyers will not have to be wearing wigs. You see, the same thing here in America. You see, this way, America is a revolutionary country. The Americans don't wear wigs going to the court. Wigs for what? Wigs is a reminder of colonialism. It makes you look like you are not who you are. So Africans got to be who they are, who they should be. That was what that young man did. You know what? Now they'll be wearing African fabrics made in Africa by the African people. That's what the lawyers in Burkina Faso have started donning. I wish those on Facebook could see it. But those on YouTube, you saw it, when this broadcast started, that was what you will see. The very first thing that you see. Yes. We are so proud. We are so proud of Ibrahim Traore. We are so proud of his accomplishments We are so proud of everything he has done so far, and we are proud ahead of the many things he's going to do. We know that he's not going to betray us. We know that he's a true leader. He has demonstrated it. He doesn't need any validation by anyone, and he's proven that Africa and African can provide the right type of leadership. He's doing just that. And another amazing thing, the people of Burkina Faso are following him. You know what they told them? You can stay for as long as you want. Yes, they don't want to go and vote anymore for now. Yes, because they have voted, voting did not work. People they bring to power through their ballot did not lead anywhere. This young man came and turned things around. Now everything is beginning to fall in place in Burkina Faso. I don't know how excited I am that this is happening right now in Africa. So a message to France: no matter how much you try to kill that young man, you will not succeed. Yes. So Ibrahim Traore, we are going to form an army, a continental army. Yes, different from the conventional army. The colonial armies in Africa are not doing us any good. So whatever we need to do to defend and protect Ibrahim Traore from being murdered like they want, we will do it. Yes, every African, every Burkinabe, it's time for us to start protecting those who serve us right. And Ibrahim Traore is one of those few that are doing Africa proud. So the best thing we can do is to protect him. The best thing we can do is to shout on top of a roof wall or on roofs to sing to the world about the arrival of the new Africa. We are coming and we are undaunted. No matter what stages and rages they put us through, we shall succeed. And it's going to be revolutionaries all over Africa. We are tired of selling raw materials. We want to become producers and not consumers of what people steal from us and then come back and tell us they are giving us aids. Africa for Africans. Africa for Africans. Right now is the moment, and we are not backing down. I am so proud of this young man, 35-year-old man. Yeah, 35-year-old, sending a strong message and a very powerful message to the world that Africa's time is now. How can you beat that? Can you beat that? I love him. And I love him, and I want every African to stand up for him. They are testing him, they are trying him, they want to kill him by all means. Yes, they have tried so many. But this man is a man on a mission. He's a man on a mission. He's beginning to prove a lot of things. He's beginning to prove that what they told us was impossible, that it was possible, that we can do it. Yes, we are not idiots. We are not the dunces. We are not the beggars. We are not the vassals that they made us to be. We are not the handicapped people always needing help. No, we don't need help. We have been helping the world. They need us more than we need them. We have the materials. We're now going to start deciding how much and who we sell our materials to. Yes, the world is shaping up for Africa. The destination is Africa. We want an Africa that will be respected. We want an Africa that will be treated with respect. Yes, we want justice for Africa. And the only people who can demand for justice for Africa is for the Africans. It's the Africans. We are not going to sit down and wait for anybody to award us justice, because the world has been unfair to us. So it is our time to take our destiny in our hands. And Ibrahim Traore is doing it right there in Burkina Faso. What an amazing moment. And Mr. Chiani is in Niger operating. Yes, and the other young man is in Mali doing the same thing. Very soon, this fire of liberation will spread across Africa. Yes, we must, as a people, stop killing ourselves. Stop killing one another. We are not enemies of our own, but they make us believe that we can progress by killing one another. We cannot. And this is the reason why we must go back to the drawing board in line with the vision of our founding fathers that want a United States of Africa. Yes, with no borders. Yes, with one economy, with one reserve bank, and above all, with one military. Who can beat Africa? Yes, Africa for Africans. Ibrahim Traore, I look forward to meeting you, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Yes, you deserve a continental and global commendation. The steps you have taken to restore peace and security in Burkina Faso and to catalyze the growth and development of the Burkina Bay economy. It's amazing what this young man is doing. It's amazing. That's why they want to kill him. They want to kill him so that Burkina Faso will go back to square one. France is the sponsor of Boko Haram. They are the sponsors of terrorism in Africa. So they don't deserve to be there. Yes, they are parasites, imperial parasites, who do not want the good of Africa, must not be given the soil of Africa to exploit our people and then destroy our environment and come back and say that they are giving us aid. We don't need their aids. They need us more. Without us, their economy will crash. Yes, and they know it. So that is why they are angry right now. They are raging like Red Bulls. Yes, because there's no more food for lazy men. They exploited our people since when? 1884, Berlin Conference. Yes, that's outside what they did with slavery. Slavery, colonialism, imperialism, apartheid, and now globalization. Globalization, they thought, they believe, would be their certificate of occupancy to take over Africa for keeps. But we, the people of Africa, must stand up to say no. Africa is our continent. We are not Arabs, we are not Europeans, but we have respect for people of the world who have respect for us and want to do business with us on equal terms, no longer the slave and slave masters relationship. We have learned enough from your universities. We did not learn anything but becoming schizophrenics, so distant from reality and so distant from ourselves. You made us become strangers to who we are, so that you continue to oppress and repress us. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And that is what Ibrahim Traore, that was the message he passed across with this. What is left that we must dismantle? Our legal code have to go down. Yes, we have to make laws that jive with who we are. We have to make laws that are in sync with our culture, customs, and tradition. Yes, what the legal system we have been operating is been the one that has nothing to do with us. That is why we became strangers. We are strangers in our own land. We are strangers to ourselves. We want to become real people. We want to be the real African people. We want to make our own laws, interpret our own laws. We should not be importing Arab law and European laws into our system. America did it, yes, and it's working for them. America removed that wig so many hundreds of years ago because they didn't see any sense in it. And this is what the rest of Africa must do. End that wig. Yes, remove every colonial cleavage attached to Africa so we can move forward and define ourselves for who we are, the African people, the authentic people, the first people, the first people. That's who we are. So we must answer and respond to who we are. We must go back to the vision of yeah. That's the way life is going to be. If you don't know, you can't educate us for no equal opportunity. And talk about my freedom. Give us freedom and liberty. Yes, we got to be free. And to be free, we must fight to get our freedom. Oppressors never award you freedom. Yes, you have to take it because it is yours to take. Yes, we should stop being timid. We should stop being timid. We should define ourselves for who we are and what we are. We are Africans. We are a good people. We don't trouble the world. We are not offensive. All we want is just peace. We have been enslaved 700 years by the Arabs, 400 years by the Europeans. They came back and did a colonialism. Yes, for over another 100 and something years. Yes. Come on, what did we do wrong? They brought apartheid in 1652. Yes, they rode they said that God gave them the land in South Africa. 1652, they came. Yes, subjugated our people for over 300 years, right on their soil. Yes, until 1994. And they still want more. They still want more. They have taken our raw materials and not paying us the real values for what they took. They don't build industries to hire our people. 1.5 billion people, mostly youths. 70% of our young people are unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable because of the wrong education, because of the wrong orientation. They messed us up mentally that we have to worship God from their prison. They messed up our economy and made us poor. And they made us incapable of thinking for ourselves. They took away our self-esteem and make us believe that it is only they that can help us. But we are telling them now, it's a lie. We are capable of doing things by ourselves. Leave us alone. You fractured us. We have suffered more than enough of this. That is why we, the ordinary people of Africa, we must now start looking at ourselves seriously and critically, and then decide what we want, and no longer what the slave masters and imperialists want. Africa is for us to develop and grow. If we don't do it, nobody is going to do it for us. Remember your children today. Remember the future of unborn generations of Africans who will suffer the consequences of our inaction today. And this is the reason why we must join hands with the likes of Ibrahim Traore, Tiani, and all the other ones that are doing revolutionary things for the betterment of Africa and the African people. Thumbs up for Ibrahim Traore. Since he came to power, it has been one great step or the other, bold and ambitious step, things that most African leaders cannot even dream about. Yes, yeah, I'm from Nigeria, a sprawling edifice. Since 2023, when they put a drug dealer in power, a drug dealer, a certificate forger, an identity thief, no progress has been made. Look at small Burkina Faso. What they are doing there is amazing. Yes. They now have a car manufacturing plant in Burkina Faso. Yeah. Yes. Yes, you know what? And it's going to empower a lot of people, provide job opportunities for the locals there. And they transform their gold. Yes, their gold now, they mine their gold. They process their gold. As against what it was before, when France and its evil companies were in charge. Yes. Can you imagine what they did in Niger? The uranium in Niger, France was taking it for free. France was taking it for free. But when the people decided to take over their resources, what happened? What happened? Niger is now reaping the benefits of its resources. These imperial forces, European imperial forces and the Arab counterpart, now China joining them, they are no good. Yes, so they are the ones. They want to kill us. They want to destroy Africa. So we need more revolutionaries. Nobody should be afraid. If you are in any country led by a puppet, and any African country led by a puppet, and you have a way of saving that country so that the people from there will enjoy the benefit of their resources, I don't blame you. Do what you got to do. Yes, we can't continue to be that weeping continent, that crying continent, that begging continent. Every time we are cap in hand, begging for one aid or the other. And that most painfully, it's from what they stole from us. The people who steal from us laugh us to scorn. Oh, Africans are poor. Africa is not poor. And you know that Africa is not poor. Africans are not poor. If they are poor, you made them poor. You steal from them. You take everything from them. You treat them like less than human. And you say they are poor. You are evil. You are wicked. Leave us alone. Let us develop. Even if we have to die, trying to figure out our way forward, let us die. But leave us alone. You know you can't leave us alone. You want what we have, but you are not fair. You take them by violence. You instigate violence. Look at what is happening in Congo. Look at what is happening in Congo. That Congo thing, we have to address it squarely. And I want to send a message to Paul Kagame. What you are doing in Congo, what you are doing in Congo is going to come to haunt you if you don't stop. Yes, Kagame, if you don't stop what you are doing in Congo, it's going to come around and haunt you. All right? If you talk about being a Pan-Africanist, but you are doing a direct opposite. You are sponsoring terrorists against the people of Congo. More than a quarter of the population are in IDP camp. What are you trying to accomplish? You are stealing. You are doing the same thing the imperial forces are doing. So what is the difference between you and the people that we blame? You are doing that right there. Small Rwanda is becoming an aggressor and a rogue country in that part of the world. You need to stop Paul Kagame. And then how long? Why have you been in power for so long? All right. When is another person going to take over the mantle of leadership in Rwanda? And you know what you are trying to create? You are going to create another round of war in Rwanda. By the time you leave, I see you being disgraced out. I wish you can advise yourself and really ease yourself out now before it is too late. What you are doing in Congo is bad. It's evil. Advise yourself and stop. Advise yourself and stop. I used to respect you, Paul Kagame. I used to have a lot of respect for you. But my respect for you is waning because of the new things that I'm learning about you. You claim that you don't have backers. I guess you have become the newest puppet in Africa. Looking at how you are operating. Why are you troubling Congo that is already stressed out? Since independence, that place has not known peace. You are supposed to be a leader, a champion of African unity. But you are doing a direct opposite. You cannot be exploiting a sister African country. Yes, you are supposed to be leading a force to bring African militaries together to end what is taking place, happening in Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. The massive raping of the country's economy, the stealing by Chinese of the country's economic resources. Yes, China is coming to steal like never before in that country. And they come claiming that they are building infrastructure. Which infrastructure are they building? Why should they be the one building infrastructure for Africa? Why is it that the Africans are not able to build their own infrastructure? Yes. When are we going to stop? Which African company is building infrastructure in Europe or building infrastructure in China? They don't allow us build. They are invaders. Why do we allow ourselves prepare ground for them to continue to rape and invade us and exploit us? And they give us guns and we are killing killing one another. Paul Kagame, you can do a better job. You need to advise yourself and stop what you are doing inside the Democratic Republic of Congo. You are an aggressor. I hope you heed to this advice. But back to Burkina Faso. It is celebration. Really, I love what Ibrahim Traore is doing out there. And I love what Tiani is doing in Niger. I love what the other young man, what is his name? I've forgotten his name. Is doing in Mali. Yeah, Burkina Faso, Senegal, I'm not very clear about what Faye is doing. I'm really not very clear. It looks like he's still having some connection with France against what he said he was going to do. Well, let's see how it goes. But on Nigeria, Nigeria. Nigeria has been a disappointment. It's a disappointing, very, very disappointing country. Yes, right now in the hands of rogues at all levels. Rogues, criminals, bandits, terrorists holding Nigeria hostage. Yes, and it's sad that the Nigerian people, my people, are quiet and silent and adjusting to the hell their country has become. They are angling, thinking that an election will take Nigeria anywhere. An election without rules. An election organized by brigands. I don't know how it is going to lead Nigeria to the Eldorado that we truly seek or that they are expecting to have without work. Nigerians, you must take your asses to work. Come and stop your tribalistic behaviors. That is a big knockout. One of the reasons Nigeria is not moving forward. Tribalism, nepotism, religious nationalism, yes, all those regional nationalism, yes. When a criminal is in power, because that criminal is from your place, you think supporting him is a great thing to do. Even when you are dying, you are not moving forward. Millions of your young compatriots are out there without jobs. What are you celebrating? What are you benefiting from lining behind the terrorists, bandits, fraudsters, identity thieves, drug dealers? All manners of criminals are in charge of Nigeria. Now I ask Nigerians, where are your intellectuals? Where are the professors? Where are the medical doctors? Where are the lawyers in Nigeria? Where are the intelligentsias? What happened to them? Why are they all silent? Yes, what is wrong? That rogues are your leaders. Rogues are the faces of our country's leadership. Look at what Ibrahim Traore, a young man, is doing in Burkina Faso. Yes, look at what he's doing. A Nigerian is capable of doing that in Nigeria. But what happens? You sit, you obstruct those Nigerians who can do it. You use your religious foolishness, use your tribal idiocy, use your regional nonsensical regional tendencies to stop them. But look at where your country is, and you still don't think that you should stop. All right, you don't think you should pause and say no. We can't continue like this. How long? Why should we continue like this? Remember Thomas Sankara from this same Burkina Faso. They keep coming. Every time they come, they try to stop them. Yes. But Ibrahim Traore is a combination of himself and Thomas Sankara and notable African patriots who did good for their countries. Where are the Nigerian ones? Where are the Nigerian kinds? Where are they? We want you to come out. It doesn't matter where you are in Nigeria. Come out and let us stand up for Nigeria. We are ashamed of how Nigeria is deteriorating every day. Are you not ashamed? Do you feel good about it? Nigeria, that is supposed to be the giant and leader of Africa, is dying, and all of us are quiet. Nobody wants to do anything. Even as we are speaking this, beaming this message is live to you. You don't wake up. You are tired. You have given up for terrorists to take over, and they will prepare our country for a second colonization that will become hell for the people of Nigeria. Why can't we stand up and unite? Where are the patriots of Nigeria? Where are you? Join us at Open Nigeria. We can make it happen. Yes, to join Open Nigeria, 4 things you must do. Follow us on YouTube at Open Nigeria 1. That's Open Nigeria, ONE. Open Nigeria 1 on Facebook. All right? If you are watching me right now, subscribe to the ONN channel. That's at Nigeria Now on ONN. You are watching me, you are a Nigerian right now, or you are a lover of Nigeria, join us and subscribe to our channel. Then you can visit our website at www.nigerianow, opennigerianow.com, www.opennigerianow.com, www.opennigerianow.com. All right, and the last way to be part of what we are doing in Nigeria is to follow the Open Nigeria Now group. Yeah, join the Open Nigeria Now group. Open Nigeria Now group on Facebook. Those are the four means. It will be beneficial if you connect with them. Connect with us on all these channels so we can start working hard on building a critical mass of critically conscious patriotic Nigerians to take the Nigerian system on and break it down. If we don't break that system down, Nigeria is going to keep spinning on one spot and in no direction. This is a patriotic call to the people of Nigeria. Once again, I thank Captain Ibrahim Traore, the young president of Burkina Faso. I can't wait to meet this young man. I really can't wait to meet him. I want to. Hopefully, I have to make a trip to Burkina Faso once I'm able to establish a contact that will guarantee me seeing him, to give him a revolutionary handshake from another revolutionary diehard. Everything he is doing is what I would have done if I was president of Nigeria. Everything he has done, yes, to turn the country over to the real owners, is what I would do if I were the president of Nigeria. He has handed his country over to the people. Yes, the people are the ones that work with him. He's in a military uniform, but he has respect for basic human rights. He is not violating basic human rights. Yes, he's doing everything he can to bring these people on board for them to drive their destiny. How? What are we doing? What are we seeing in Nigeria? What are we seeing in Nigeria? The army and the armed forces, though not the armed forces of Nigeria, even if they wear the Nigerian uniform, they are the armed forces of a terrorist. Yeah, that work with the bandits, work with the terrorists, killing our people. Yes, giving up our territorial spaces. They are not defending us. They don't care about Nigeria. They are politicians in military uniform. Some are outright terrorists working with Boko Haram. Yes, they aid and abet stealing of our oil resources. Nigeria has no army. So look at, if General Christopher Musa, I hope you are hearing, you are seeing what Ibrahim Traore is doing. If you were truly a patriotic person, looking at what Nigeria is going through, you should have taken action. Why are you defending a government? That is not your business. Your business is to defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria that is under assault as we speak. And you know it. But instead, what are you doing? You are killing innocent and defenseless Nigerians. You went to Okwama and leveled the whole place. You killed the people, killed women and children, drove them into the forest, arrested their leaders. 3 of them have died in your custody. Shame on you, General Musa. Shame on you. And you say you are a soldier? You are a soldier? Soldiers don't kill their own people. Soldiers kill external aggressors. You are not doing that. The aggressors are everywhere in our communities. Yes, Arab aggressors, are everywhere, tormenting, raping, and killing, robbing, and kidnapping our people. You don't see those. It is only the defenseless, poor, and innocent Nigerians that you have the power to kill. Yes, it's people like me who is working hard, even speaking up for you, that you kill. Shame on you. Failed Nigerian army. An army that cannot conquer Boko Haram. An army that cannot defeat the bandits. You are so proud. You are not Nigerian army. You know that. So Burkina Faso has an army. And they are fighting for the liberation of their country. Thank you, Ibrahim Traore. Thank you, Ibrahim Traore. Man, this guy should be the president of the whole of Africa. Right now. He should be the president of the whole of Africa. Africa needs to be reset. Africa needs to be reset. Yes. Barbara Robert, yes, I wish we could all just get along, the whole world. Yeah, it is possible that we can get along, but some people don't want that. They don't want to see us unite. They don't want to see the world because of their selfish interest. They don't want to see the world unite. They want to continue to set up confusion. They want to continue to set up wars. Yeah, because it benefits them. It benefits their pocket. They don't care who is dying. Do you know how many people are dying on a daily basis in the Democratic Republic of Congo? They are dying in droves. Do you know how many people are dying in my home country, Nigeria? They are dying in droves. Okay, you know, they don't care about us. Especially Africa. They don't care about us. It is only about the economic resources that they get from Africa. That is what they are interested in. Don't you see how much they are caring about Ukraine? I feel sad for what is happening in that place. Yes. If it is Africa, they would let them perish. Yes. I saw Zelensky today at the White House. I saw the British Prime Minister at the White House. I saw, what is his name? This little boy, Emmanuel Macron. So why are they all everywhere? They are scared of Russia, right? Oh, but they are not. When they come to Africa to exploit us, they don't care because they think Africans are animals. This chicken is going to come to roost everywhere. You deny Africans justice. You deny them peace and security. You cannot be secure in your places. Let there be justice for the people of the world. And I hope Donald Trump will lead the charge for justice for the whole of the world. And it has to start with NATO. NATO create confusion and put the bill for America to pay. America should stop paying the bill of NATO. America must stop paying the bills of NATO. NATO is a racist organization that will create wars around the world and make America pay. Look at what they did in Libya. Yeah, Libya. Look at what they did in Libya. Libya, a peaceful country, a stable country. They came there and destabilized it. Who? It was Obama and Nicolas Sarkozy that did that. Yes, Nicolas Sarkozy talked Obama into it to attack the continent of his father. And he did it. Now they left Libya a mess after they killed Gaddafi. Look at where we are. And we are all suffering it. The aftermath of what they did in Libya is what is killing Nigeria right now. All those terrorists with sophisticated ammunition, they all ended up in Nigeria. They ended up in Chad. They ended up in Nigeria. They ended up in Mali, Burkina Faso. Yes. And they are the handwork of France. The handwork of France. France did that to destabilize that region so they can come back and colonize it. But this time, I don't know how they are going to do it. Yeah, because Africa now is not the Africa of our ancestors. Africa now are Africa of people who are becoming increasingly conscious. Africa now are Africans who will be ready to fight in defense of their land because they know that a second colonization will not be good for them. So this is talking to the young people in Africa everywhere. Let us stop hating one another. The colonial legacy of hate, self-hate, we must overcome it now and recognize who the true enemies of Africa are, and then unite to stand firm and work for our continent, to earn the respect of the world and direct our destiny. Sell whatever we want to sell, do whatever business we want to do with the rest of the world as equal, as those people who need so much help from everybody. Why is it that everybody wants to help Africa? As if they are needy. We are not the needy people. We have everything that we need to be the best on earth. But some people don't want us to unite. So that is why they instigate crisis everywhere in Africa. Africans should wake up now. Africans should stop electing fools as their leaders. Africans should stop electing goats as their leaders. Africa should stop allowing Imperial Europe, China, and the Arab Arabians to impose on them who their leaders should be. We should not be practicing their culture. We are a distinct people. We should practice who we are. How we see God and how we see issues must be reflective of who we are right now. That is what we need in order for us to be free. If we can't do this, we'll continue to limp. We'll continue to be beggars. We'll continue to be that sorry continent populated by some sorry people. How are we going to continue to do that? The moment is now. This is Africa's moment to rise and take their continent back. Walk in line with the vision of our founding fathers. Walk in line with the visions of our founding fathers, who told us about the need to come together and build the United States of Africa in line with the vision of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Emperor Haile Selassie, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Modibo Keita, Sekou Toure, Jomo Kenyatta, Samora Machel. Yes. Walimu, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Abdel Nasser. Yes, that was the vision, the original vision of our founding fathers. They were betrayed when the imperial forces saw that a united Africa will be too much for them to handle. That's how they started instigating the killing of those frontline revolutionaries. They killed Patrice Lumumba of Congo, the same Congo we are talking about. Since they killed Patrice Lumumba, Congo has not known peace. And before that time, little Belgium killed over 12 million Congolese. So the question I ask Europe is this: when are you going to stop? When are you going to stop? You have so much blood, African blood in your hands. When are you going to stop? Yes, Congo has not known peace since independence. Patrice Lumumba, they killed him, disemboweled him. Yes, they soaked his body in the concentrated hydrochloric acid. He was burnt down because he did this. The same thing Ibrahim Traore is doing. Standing up for his country. Standing up for his people. Is that a sin? Every country stood up to be what they are. America stood up against Imperial Britain and got their independence. And as soon as they got their independence, they started working on a trajectory that led them to becoming the most powerful country on earth. So what is wrong with that? Even the French people had their French Revolution because they were dissatisfied by the type of leadership that was being provided for them. The same France, now for how many years, turned to Africa, 1884, and started. These are people who became free through a revolution. So why are we, the people of Africa, the subhumans, that everybody will come to sacrifice? The South African white, the Boers, left Netherlands in 1652 on account of a false prophecy weaved around Genesis chapter 9 to claim an African land, that it is their promised land that God gave to them. The same Bible that they used to mislead our people, and they told us to look up, that God is upstairs. And while we were looking up with the Bible in our hands, they were digging our minerals from below us. They twisted our brain about God that we knew before everybody. And now we became a schizophrenic, became a very confused people. Yes. Because they took our brains and replaced it with the brains of people who cannot think for themselves or act for themselves. This is why we are where we are. Who will save Africa? Ibrahim Traore. Who else will save Africa? Me. Who else will save Africa? Professor Patrick Lumumba. Who else will save Africa? Julius Malema in South Africa. Yes, we need to come together. It's time. It's not like Africa lacks those who can put the people in the right direction, but the imperial forces that have corrupted our African elites have made things difficult. But we have to change course and approach them differently, in a different way. The same thing that Ibrahim Traore and his boys and his people did to become free. Back is the only thing that we Africans will do. Yes, if we don't do it, we will continue to suffer. Their democracy has failed us. It's not working. Does it work? Nigeria, will you call that Nigeria a democracy? Nigeria is a place where only criminals win election, and they call it democracy. And the imperial people will come and say Nigeria is a democracy. When they tell you that you are doing so well, your economy is doing well, you need to think twice about the damage that they are doing to you. Africa for Africa. Africans. Africa driven by African minds is the only way. We cannot be a copycat, or we cannot be copycats and succeed. We cannot get there. If we are copycats, the people will change their game. We have to learn their system again in order to catch up with them. They don't want the world to unite. They don't care about peace in the world. They don't care about who they hurt in the world. All they know is about what they want. Yes. Okay. Yahusha Messiah. All right, Savage Jagaban is problem. CIA said he's an asset. Okay. Yeah, but Jagaban, or whatever they call him, is a small of a Nigerian problem. It's small. It's an icing on the cake. The problem of Nigeria started a long time ago. You know, the people you are just talking about, they don't like good people being in charge, because the good people being in charge will ask them questions. They will challenge them. They don't like people with clean records. The reason is because they will not be able to convince them to rob their countries. They will not give them the leeway to destroy their countries. They love people with bad criminal records. Yes, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah, you know, he was a criminal here. He was a drug dealer here. He killed a lot of Americans. That is why I would be surprised. I feel sick when I hear that America has a hand in what is propelling him to destroy Nigeria. He was a criminal here. Actually, he's supposed to be in jail. You know what he did? He did a plea bargain. He paid nearly 500,000 US dollars after destroying families here and destroying millions, generations of Americans. I don't know how America let him go. The America that I know, a man who committed such a heinous federal offense, was left off the hook and allowed to go to Nigeria, where he became a senator. He became a senator. From there, he became a two-term governor of Lagos State, after which he started working on how to buy up the whole of Nigeria. And he succeeded in 2023 with the help of the Grand Commander of Boko Haram, Muhammadu Buhari, and all his men. Yes, Fulani elites. I did not say all Fulanis, corrupt, criminal, rogue Fulani elites. Yes, in Nigeria, who were looking for somebody to continue their repressive and oppressive legacy. Yes, and they found him a willing tool, and then he signed whatever he signed with them, and then they helped him compromise the Nigerian armed forces, which has already become infested with the Boko Haram agents. That is why he cannot open his mouth to fight. He cannot. His hamstring right there. You know, he's in a cage right there because he's scared for his life that they will kill him. So that is where we are. So we can't get anywhere with that animal in power in Nigeria. We will never get anywhere. He's a stooge, double stooge for that matter. So that is why he will go to sleep, even if they like murder thousands of Nigerians. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. So that is why it is that way, my brother. Yes. So he is a part of a problem. All right? Did you see how they gathered together at Ibrahim Babangida's house at his book launch in which hotel they call it? Transcorp in Abuja. All the criminals in Nigeria, all the rogues, all the people who stole from Nigeria gathered together. And within a few minutes, they raised 17 billion naira for him. Now, these are the people who do not care about your ordinary people. That's why I tell Nigerians, now you know your enemies. The corrupt Nigerian elites, especially from the political class and the drivers of the private sector, are your enemies. They raised 17 billion for his rogue library. A man who wasted 8 years of Nigeria's time, taking us through an endless transition to civil rule that he knew was not going to be possible. We went through an election. We went through an election, the freest and fairest election, an election where nobody died. Everybody knew what they wanted, and they lined behind their choice. Yes. And then, what happened to that election? They nullified the election. You saw the reason he gave for the nullification of the election. That the North did not want Abiola. The Northern Emir, corrupt and morally bankrupt Northern Emir and their Sultan. That the Sultan was angry. Right? So let's flip it. If it was Tofa that won that election, there will be no consolation. So that is why we must not accept their idea of Nigeria anymore. We must fight to take Nigeria. And the way we are going to fight, we are not going to ever get Nigeria back through their election. That is why I'm laughing at those. I'm laughing that I'm scoffing at those who are angling, preparing for an election without a pathway to it. There is no reform of the country's electoral law. If the country was a serious country that was desirous of practicing real democracy, I would think that from right now, we should have been nearing the end of the completion of the review of our country's electoral law. Unbundle the INEC and insulate it against political manipulation. Screen out preemptively thieves and rogues who come and buy up our votes. Yes, a lot of them are criminals who are not asked questions about the sources of their money. There are some who ran away from the United States to evade justice. I know one who ran away from here to evade justice for her involvement with a huge credit card fraud here in the United States. It's on FBI's wanted list. She went to Nigeria and landed in the House of Representatives. Yes. Today, she is the chairperson of a board in Nigeria under this rogue. So what we have is rogue Nigeria, not the type of Nigeria that we want. You understand? So the INEC, I'm going to have to really write a format of what we need to do if we are ever serious about going on to practice real democracy. One, the INEC has to become truly independent and insulated against political manipulation by anybody. Then the National Orientation Agency must be independent and made to do the work of their agency. Truly independent. When a body is said to be independent in the United States, it's independent. And the law protects the drivers of such agencies. The law provides them. You can't, if you are a president, you can't do anything to them. They will tell you, and plus they know their rights too. They will advance the cause of their job. They will defend their job, defend their action on behalf of the people of the United States. Yes. The army should be taken back to the barracks and never to be seen on the streets. You don't see soldiers here on the street. It's and when you see them, maybe you see them at the airport, come and see how they celebrate them. Yes. They don't get themselves involved in politics. But what are we having in Nigeria? General Christopher Musa is a APC card-carrying member. He goes around making political statements. You see him shamelessly coming out to talk about defending democracy, as if that is his business. He doesn't know his role as Chief of Defense Staff. He doesn't know his role as a soldier who took an oath to defend the territorial integrity. They did not say democracy. Defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria. That's their constitutional responsibility. He's not supposed to be seen or heard around political circles. But here comes the man, General Christopher Musa and others in the armed forces. They are the ones talking more politics than the animal that they put in charge as president of Nigeria. You see what I'm saying? That is how sad Nigeria is. Okay, you said, Yahusha, okay, we saw that. We saw the Babangida, but protest for lessened of taxation. And you will see. So people are still being abducted and put in the boot of vehicles at night and taken elsewhere. Yes, you are even seeing worse than that. They will take you, they will kill you, they will sell your body parts. Nigeria is a Jurassic World as we speak. You know, did you watch that movie called Jurassic World when it came out a few years ago? That is what Nigeria is right now, sadly. It is. But somebody has to say it. As we speak right now, I'm officially on exile. All right? Yes, because they want to silence the voice. They try all things. They do all that kind of things to stop us. But we are not going to back down. That is the only country in Africa that the world is supposed to be respecting. But some people don't want it. to advance beyond subsistence. And it's that sad. And that is why we are so proud of Ibrahim Traore and what he's doing in Burkina Faso. Yes, out of the darkness, sometimes we see light. We celebrate that light. I'm highly elated to be alive, seeing a young African standing up and standing hard, for Africa through Burkina Faso. And I pray and hope, and I will continue to work hard to inspire more young people from across the continent with access to what it will take them to take over their countries. Yes, so that we can bring the vision of our founding fathers into fruition. If we can't do it, we will continue to struggle. We will continue to be that beggarly continent with the poorest people on earth inside with inside a continent with over 45% of the earth's resources. How can you justify the poverty in Africa with what we have? Everywhere you look is something. Yes. Chinese let their prisoners free. Yes, set them free and then transport them in droves to Africa. You need to go to Africa, rural Africa, and see the devastation the Chinese are bringing upon our continent. You will cry. You will cry. You will cry. Because we have stupid people as leaders of Africa. Young revolutionaries from across Africa, wake up now, rise up now. Young revolutionaries from Africa. Africa is about to die. You listening to what I am saying? Wake up, wake up, wake up for your continent. Rise up, rise up, rise up for your continent. Ain't nobody going to do it for you but yourself, ourselves. Yes, wake up. Listen to Professor Patrick Lumumba. Listen to Ibrahim Traore. Listen to Julius Malema. Listen to my voice. Listen to the voices of so many other Pan-Africanists who are doing their best from their beats and unite to take your continent, country by country, until we get to that point where we dissolve all borders in Africa and make Africa that one country. Yes. All right, you saw the movie, Jurassic World. Please, we need to start speaking about protecting people like Ibrahim Traore. Yes, as a united continent, not with all this Korokoro division. I agree with you. That is why I am calling. I'm trying my best to reach that young man. I'm trying. I've not been successful with the efforts that I've made, so I came close. Yeah, because it's a target. Every day there's this plan orchestrated by France to kill him. So I can understand his position. But I'm hoping that in no distant time, I will be able to get him to talk to. Yes, we need a ring of protection around him. Seriously, because the way they are coming, they are attacking him like never before. They are determined. Sadly, who do they use? Our fellow Africans. Yes, but I'm sure he's up to the task. So far, he has held up so well. The security around him is tight. And we can make it tighter by getting more young Africans to move into Burkina Faso, to become military intelligence officers, to catch anything before it happens. Because they are hell-bent. They are doing everything. They are Satan. Satan works through them over 24/7 to find a way to kill every obstacle, because their plan is to take over Africa for keeps. You know what I'm saying? They will exterminate all of us and take over Africa, because Africa is so beautiful. They are tired of paying heavy costs of transporting what they steal from Africa. So they want to make that place their own, instead of building a place that will create job for all of us, where people from anywhere can come and make a living, contribute their quota, live if they want to live, stay peacefully and just as a people who care about the people there. But no, they won't have it. They want to exterminate this black skin color. That is their game. And then some of us are used. Some of us are used to make it happen. And that is why we need more revolutionaries. That is why we must teach our people about their history, what happened to them. And that is why we must stop being Arabs. And that is why we must stop being Europeans. This is the reason why we must be more African than everything, but with respect for variances and other people who come in contact with us, because that's who we are. We are not invaders. Have you heard any Africans coming to America to invade America? Yes, that is not who we are. It's not in our character. Well, have you seen any African group going to invade any country outside Africa? That is not who we are. But why is it that we are this target? Everybody comes to Africa to create confusion and then threaten us with invasion. Yes, call us names, disrespect us, not because we are poor, but because we don't have the type of leadership that can think and think expansively beyond their confines of their idiocy. We are not an idiotic people. We have very good people, but they never allow us. Yes, the imperial forces, they know us. When we try to come, they block us. I was so ashamed. Do you see what happened in Nigeria when Nigeria was having its election? 5 presidential candidates went to disgrace themselves in the UK. 5 presidential candidates went to sell their manifestos in the UK. British people are not voting in Nigerian election. Why are you going to Britain to read your... It's like a headmaster and a pupil in an elementary school. That is Britain with a population of 87 million people directing the affairs in Nigeria through some idiots that they have planted generationally to disable Nigeria and to prevent the country from moving forward. And you see, those are the ones who call themselves Northerners. Those are the ones who don't want Nigeria to unite. Those are the ones who use Islam to hold their people down here in Nigeria. Those are the people who, as I am talking about Nigeria, you hear them talking about North. So the North is in competition with the sovereignty of Nigeria. That is where we are. And that is what the British wanted. And it has always been done. And that is a country where biology is turned upside down. Science is turned upside down. Yes, that is where many things can happen. That is where our borders will be left open. Nigerians will come. Chadians will come into Nigeria. Even Malians will come into Nigeria to be counted in Nigerian population censuses, because they want to establish a false numerical supremacy that does not exist, which we don't really care about, because I know that population censuses are conducted for strategic national planning, including monitoring criminality. Now, that is why terrorism is finishing Nigeria, especially in the northeast of Nigeria, northwest of Nigeria. They imported them. So that is the problem. We need a leadership that can drive Nigeria away from the darkness in which she is in right now. Not these bandits, not terrorists. Can you imagine? The Minister of Defense of the rogue Nigeria is a bandit, ex-governor of Zamfara State. He was governor for 8 years. He gave a part of his residence to bandits and was buying them operational vehicles. Yes, to rob, kidnap, and rape our people. Yes, he is the Minister of Defense of Nigeria. The vice president is a terrorist with ties to Boko Haram. And the young man who bombed the United Nations building. The world, America, I hope you are hearing me. The whole world, you are hearing me. The United Nations Security Council, you are hearing this. And, yes, the man who bombed the United Nations building in 2011 was arrested in Kashim Shettima's house. Yes, the man who bombed the United Nations building, yes, was arrested in Kashim Shettima's house. Yes, I'm talking about Aminu Sokoto, who bombed the United Nations building in 2011, was arrested in Kashim Shettima's house. Who is Kashim Shettima? Kashim Shettima is the rogue vice president of the rogue Nigeria. Yes. And you want that country to be secure. The world is seeing it. The United Nations is seeing it. The United States is aware of it, especially under Joe Biden. Where we are hoping that Donald Trump will do something. Yes, because we'll tell them, stop selling ammunition to Nigeria. That was the first thing I told him. Stop selling arms to Nigeria. All the arms the United States sold to Nigeria under Joe Biden and the administrations before his ended up in the hands of terrorists, because there are terrorist elements holding command and control infrastructural positions in the Nigerian armed forces. So once they take delivery of them, they end up in the hands. Boko Haram is more sophisticated as it stands right now than Nigeria. Yes. Yes. Okay, yes. Yeah, you got it right. It's a book because Chatham House, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Bilderbergs appoint a puppetologist, yes. So you have to go to London to clarify to your master. Yes, the colonies. Yes, I agree with you. You know what's up, man. So that is what we know. I won't go. If I was looking for a place to speak to the issues around Africa, I would go to Ovaraman's grave to speak. If I don't want to speak within Nigeria, I'll go and speak on the standing on the grave of Chaka the Zulu. They were great Africans. I'm not going to pay money to go to Europe, to go to London, to talk to Chatham House, the house of imperialism. Yes, with the house where Africa was destroyed and continued to destroy. Now, the question is here. What is Nigeria doing in the British Commonwealth? And the British Commonwealth is always headed by who? By the Queen or their King. Are we Europeans? Do you know that America was a British colony? They didn't want to go through all that bullshit. America told them, no, to hell with you. They cut it off. And once they cut it off, America started marching progressively to where it is. Today, when America coughs, Britain will understand. And wherever America goes, is where Britain goes. Yes. That was how they formed NATO. They created NATO and put America in it. So America will be paying their bills. The people who created the troubles we are dealing with all over the world, when their industrial revolution became a global emergency, they cannot continue to manipulate us. Their ancestors manipulated our ancestors. Then we should not be so stupid to allow their descendants to continue to manipulate us in the 21st century, which means we didn't learn anything, which means we didn't learn from our history, which means we are truly a cursed and stupid people. And this is what the Nigerian African elites are not getting. You see people like Professor Wale Soyinka, what kind of useless professorship does he have? He doesn't speak to issues like this. I've never heard him speak about it. If he is such a high-profile professor who cannot inspire a new consciousness in Africa, his Nobel laureate is as bad as he has become, to the extent that he started supporting a criminal. Yes, because of tribalism. So the African intellectuals have a work to do. The African intellectuals, especially of this century, have failed Africa for failing to unite, to articulate a common position that will inspire the African people to seek and demand for their true independence. They are a disaster. The African intellectual is so corrupt. The African intellectual, I bet, has a problem with inferiority complex. If they were true free intellectuals, driven by knowledge, and speaking to the issues negatively impacting Africa, from 400 years of European slavery, 700 years of Arab slavery, over 100 years of colonialism, and years of imperialism, we won't be where we are. When you see them as leaders, a small rat who comes from here, who did not even break a chalk, who went to a technical school, we go to Nigeria and go and meet the president of Nigeria the same day, a piece of shit here in the United States, who cannot even talk to me on the street because of my high intellectual capacity. He goes to Nigeria, he goes to any other African country because of the people and their inferiority complex. They will think that he is a god. Did you see how they were carrying Mungo Park? When Mungo Park came, the people who took him to the Niger were Africans. Mungo Park came out and wrote that he was the one who discovered River Niger. And they put it in our history books for us to study. And they set exams for us to write. That actually, that the river, which our people have been using for millions of years, was discovered by a Portuguese, hungry Portuguese, who was looking for ways to survive. Yes, that is the sad story of Africa. Is that not enough to inspire a people to a higher thinking, to end? So why, after their ancestors misled our ancestors, who were such a kind people, welcoming, and then all of a sudden they twisted their heads, started selling them our people. They sold millions of our people, first to the Arabs, 700 years of us Arab slavery, 400 years of European slavery, making it a total of 1,100 years of the enslavement of Africans. Now they are coming again. And we in this generation, we read it in the book, and then we treat those stories as fairy tales. We don't think like who we are. We don't think like Africans. We can't question our environment. We can't question our leadership. We can't just question, we hand over everything. They put the God element in it. Everything, can be taken care of by God, including the ones that God gave us the power to take care of. What are we doing with our dominion? What are we doing with our basic human rights? What are we doing with the education? Even though it's brainwashed education. But for some of us who are sensible enough, we see advantage that the education that they gave us, based in addition to what we learn, is supposed to give us an advantage to really demand for a better deal for us and for our continent and our people and its unborn generation. Yes, it is now. That is why we must listen. And that is why Africa must unite. If Africa unites, build one economy, Africa becomes a borderless continent. Africa has one reserve bank. And Africa builds its own military. I don't know who will stop Africa. The vision is there, but the drivers are lacking. The drivers are there. The drivers are not given access to opportunity to put this vision into reality. And that is why we must look for an alternative means. It has become clear that we are not going to get there through their democracy that they give to us. It's not working. They ensure that it doesn't work in Africa. It works in their various places, but it never works in Africa. It is only in Africa that there is, whenever there is a stalemate in an election, they tell us to form a government of national unity. They know it's not going to work. And sadly, those that they capture are those who cannot think about a way forward to say, look, country first, and every other thing last. They don't deal with people who have intelligence. They deal with criminals with their bad criminal records. They deal with fools who have become infested with their inferiority complex, who cannot look an Arab in the face, and who cannot look a European in the face because of the variances in skin color, who look at the Arab and the European as God, or the closest man to God as they were lied to. The people who made us pray in their language, telling us that their language is the language of God. Ours is not. All right? So something is wrong. It's a psyche. And it's the mindset of our people. We have to change it. We wrote that about the Portuguese. And the question was 20 marks. Yes. You know. Yeah. You have to write about it or you fail. They will make it compulsory. You do not write correctly, everything is wrong in the exam. Thank God you know that, man. Thank God you know that. Thank God that he said we have all the good. Why can't we just collect it and put it in a store? Just store your good, yes, in one place. And you have a good reserve to back one currency. Why can't Africa do that? Yes, that is the right thinking. That's what a lot of people have proposed. But these evil puppets that they put in place cannot do it. And that is why we are looking for more Traores. We need more Traores in Africa. It is when we have more than enough Traores that we can put all this. And that is why we must not go to sleep. That is why we must continue to work until we get all the Traores that we can get to actualize this. And then submit all our sovereignty to one sovereignty of Africa. And you know, when we do that, you will never see again the groups like Boko Haram springing up their head to say they want to do what? The African armed forces will go there and smoke them out. One, because there will be no sentiment. Yes, Boko Haram is succeeding in Nigeria because there are sentiments. But if we had Africa was one continent, with the Congolese, with the Ugandans, with Kenyans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Burkinabes, and everybody in that force, armed force, with a central command, and say, hey, move to that place and take care of these people. There will be no Boko Haram. Boko Haram is festering because of imperial connection. You know, all African countries are fake. They were not the creations of African people, of the African people. The only country that was not successfully colonized was Ethiopia. Even Ethiopia right now is struggling, right? Everything is fake. Everything has been politicized. Everything has been made hell so that we will continue the way we are going, needing their help, how will you need the help of somebody who is exploiting you and you think he's going to genuinely and honestly help you? They never give you any help without anything in for them. And they will take lion's share of whatever. Then when you refuse, they will invade you. When you refuse, you become a target of assassination. So this is the reason why it is very important right now, most important, for the African people to realize this and look for a way to end the occupation and the siege in their continent. Why should France have military bases? Or any country, for that matter, why should they have military bases in Africa? Who is attacking us? They are the ones attacking us. We are not truly at war with one another. Any war that we are fighting are their wars, not our wars. And this is what we must realize. And this is why we must go and do some more work, teaching our people about a new consciousness. Africa, unite. It's been such a great evening hanging with you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in our next stream. Thank you, my brother Yahusha. Okay, Messiah. Okay, thank you very much for your contributions this evening. I really appreciate that. Okay, so there was a Nigerian general who was instructing cadets who were lined up, handle your weapons properly. What is it? Do not handle them like Boko Haram, which means Boko Haram is in the army. Right there. You got it, man. You got it. You got it. Man, I appreciate all of you who joined me here on YouTube and Facebook. It was such a wonderful moment hanging with you. And I look forward to being around you. Having you. I invite you to our next stream, which is going to be talking about Africa Unite. Africa Unite. That's what we're going to be hearing. You know, when I come on next, it's already scheduled, Africa Unite. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow because I schedule broadcasts for a whole week. Sometimes something emergent comes, like this one was not scheduled. I felt really inspired by what Ibrahim Traore did with the legal dress code in Burkina Faso, where he had to change that wig that people wear. I don't know where they brought this damn wig from. Yes, it does not represent who we are. And we want him to go further, to go and review everything in their law books, in that to reflect what happens in that part of Africa. Yes, so that justice will be dispensed and everybody will be happy that justice is dispensed in line with the tradition of the Burkina people. Yes, and I want to see that happening in other African countries. I'm sure this is a revolutionary move that definitely will spread like a wildfire in the next year or so. You know, a lot of people will now change, you know, the way their lawyers dress and then review their legal codes and make it reflective of who we are as Africa. I'm so proud of Ibrahim Traore, and I'm so proud of Burkina Faso. Well, I am a Burkinabe today. You know, I'm from Burkina Faso. That is how elated I am with all this, man. I'm so proud. I'm so proud that an African man is thinking. Thank you, man. Thank you. That African man, African leader is thinking. Wow. And Robert Mugabe was like that. That was why they ganged up against him. Now we know the truth. They made us hate Mugabe and all the other ones who try to do good for our continent. All right, much love to you all guys, man. Bye and have a great weekend.